Hey everyone, we're back in the shop. We've been doing a little diagnosing on the limo. It's having a very tough time idling, and we're trying to adjust timing and trying to do different settings with the Sniper EFI. Nothing is working, and David's like, "Hey, let's pull the plugs and take a look." And the plugs are pretty much dead. So
Want me to pull one? That's over there?
yeah, did you pull them out,
Yeah,
or
I just put it back. Yeah. Hold it.
we can pull them all because I'll just replace them all.
Yeah, I just need just.
Well, no, I'm saying tonight we can pull them all.
No, I just.
There's no reason for them to stay in there. Get them all replaced tomorrow. But the other thing we were noticing was adjusting timing. We were getting heavy backfire at certain timing positions, and that's also kind of telling us that there's a lot of unburnt stuff, and it's coming back up through. So that sort of tells us that we have a timing issue with combined with a nasty plugs issue. And we're working on this. The car's totally on the ground right now. I have no idea why. We've left it like that for probably the last half hour. Um, the other cool part, while David's pulling that, I'll tell you guys earlier. You can check it out on Facebook and Instagram. We did a cool, like I said, it's just a weekend packed full of cars. So yesterday, the MR6 went out for an estimate to get the body work done on it, and drove that went out to Newark and came back. That's about half an hour each way, 40 minutes each way. Then I came back, and then we went and picked up a car for Brian that was over on the other side of town. And then this morning, drove all the way up to Mansfield, which is up by Mid Ohio. If you guys have seen Shawshank, that's where the prison is up there. And picked up Cole's Supra because he blew up the shifter linkage in the Supra. So yeah, he got it towed to a Toyota dealer up there, but he's doing the repair at Toyota West where he bought the car from, which is here in Columbus, but it's all the way on the south side of town. So we went like an hour north, hour and 10 minutes north, picked up the car, drove all the way down and dropped it off at the bottom of Columbus, and then came back here. Actually, we came back here. I got a bunch of gear, and then we went to. Thanks for telling me that this is ripping hot. I appreciate that. Holy shit! He's trying to burn my hand.
Look, I can hold it, no problem.
Okay.
Oh, I have no feeling in this finger.
Yeah, he doesn't have any nerves in that finger, so he can hold it for a day. Yeah, it's up by that.
Yeah, look at that baby.
Yeah. So David's like, yeah, use my little stump to hold it. Well, that thing's roasting, man. So grabbed my gear. We went to the Motorplex to shoot a bunch of video with the Aerial Atom, and that was a ton of fun. We had a lot of fun with it. Cole and Haven did some really funny stuff. We came up with some great ideas that are. Haven's doing a whole series now, which is very funny. It'll be up on TikTok and Instagram.
Right?
Yeah, I know, because I gapped him.
Oh.
So they better be dead nuts. We shot some very funny stuff, and we shot some very cool B-roll stuff for the other promo videos that we're doing for the Atom, and we'll do that later on. Craig and I are going to be interviewed for that. That's a different thing, and we're trying to prep for tomorrow. Right now, the Viper and the Miata are going to the huge Jack's Wax event tomorrow. It's drag racing, it's a car show, it's a whole bunch of stuff. That's at National Trails Raceway. If you guys are interested, just check out Jack's Wax Columbus. I think it's Jack's Wax Columbus or Jack's Wax Ohio, and they have all the details up there. It's called Street Madness. It's kind of their big summer event, and unlike the Jack's Wax event, this is brought to you by Rockstar. That's the good stuff. It keeps you going. So that's where we're at now. Went and ate some dinner, came back out to the shop. David showed up. We're going through the limo trying to figure out timing issues. We did find a broken wire for the fuel pump, and we redid that. It wasn't broken. It was just kind of hanging on by like one thread. So we redid that. And that was originally in the harness, but I had to take the whole harness apart to get the new controller through. I'm kind of glad we found it because it should have been replaced a long time ago. It was just a butt connector that was not done very well, and so I redid that. Um, here's the plug. So let's see if I can show you guys this plug. He is fouled up pretty good. Oh, did you try and wipe him off? So we're gonna get some replacement plugs. These are NGK. I can't even read the number. Whatever it is for the 383. BKR5. BKR5E. Okay. Oh, if I wipe off the crap here, I can actually read it. And those are recommended plugs by Blueprint, correct? Yeah, we're going through all the. So we have the. When you get a Blueprint engine, you get this whole packet that has like all the part numbers and stuff, replacement part numbers. Oh, this is a big sticker, which we have no use for. Warranty paperwork, and then the installation guide, and they give you a whole bunch of other stuff. There's a dyno sheet in there. There's all your warranty stuff. It's a very very nice package. They do a very good job. It's worth it. Whatever you're paying for. Like this engine was $6,500. I picked it up myself, and I had it in about 3 hours just by myself. So and then it turned second turn of the key. The other thing we have to do on this car is quiet that fuel pump. It needs some kind of insulation, some kind of sound insulation on it because it is so loud. It's hooked right to the frame and it just reverbs all the way through the
They
frame.
used to make a sleeve.
Yeah, so I have some sound insulation here, and I have that shield, but I'm going to do a proper heat shield out of that aluminum right there, and I'll do something that is actually formed to it with some nice sound
Use a
insulation.
Folgers can.
I'm not using a Folgers can. Sorry,
Oh, you got
sorry,
one in the MRC.
not
Oh,
doing
you got
that.
a soup can in the
That
MRC.
plug is still ripping hot, man. What did I do with it? Where did I? Oh, it's over here. That plug is still really warm. So, yeah, this is what you don't want plugs to look like. And let me grab a light just because it's hard to. And I'll put the light behind here so you guys can kind of see. Wait, where did the plug go? There it is. That's not a happy spark plug. It was at one time. But
Who knows what's seen in what movie this is from? Close it back in. Mr. Conehead.
oh my god, the cone heads?
Clean spark plug. Puts it back out. Okay, ready to go back in.
Does he really? I was thinking like Adam's Family, which would have been pretty close. Also, if you're doing spark plugs, NGK good, Champion good. Who else makes really good plugs?
I've always liked
AC Delco probably makes pretty good plugs.
Bosch, especially for
Bosch makes good plugs, especially for European stuff. Loves the Bosch.
They actually are constructed differently.
Are they? Yeah. Here's
There's
the.
more parts in a plug that you can't see.
This is the dyno sheet from Blueprint, which is pretty cool. So we have what do we have? 480 horsepower, something like that. Yeah, our horsepower is 480.4. Oh, sorry, no. Our torque is 480.4. Our horsepower is 455. 455 horsepower, 480 torque. Those are, and man, if you guys don't believe me, there's the numbers. So they dyno test these engines, which is very, very nice. Yes, you pay for it, but like I said, I had this in by myself in 3 hours, literally out of the crate onto the engine hoist, in there, hooked up to trans, hooked up to fuel wiring. Uh, what else? Fuel wiring, and that was it. The cooling system. It was very simple to get that in and just turn the key. And nothing in the chat yet. Okay. So yeah, if you get a chance, Blueprint, very good stuff. Absolutely no complaints with their stuff, none. So we'll do 8 new plugs. Unfortunately, it's too late to go. I don't think Meyer has.
Yeah. Lawnmower
And
plug.
yeah, they'll have lawnmower plug. It'd be funny if they had one of them. We just grab 8, like all 8 off the shelf. But yeah, I'll hit O'Reilly's tomorrow and grab 8 new plugs. That should help with our timing issue. But this thing is running incredibly rough, and we should be able to time it very quickly, very simply, just by like barely turning the distributor. It should idle just fine. We're trying to get it to idle between 8 and 850, and it just is struggling. It's all over the place. 300, 1800, 1200, 200. It's just all over. And what do you found the movie clip?
Yeah.
Is that what's his name?
Yeah. Eldar. That's his name.
Correct. Dan Aykroyd's awesome.
Greetings, Lisa. Excellent crop of You're being nice. Yes. Standard 3 horsepower, internal combustion, chlorophyll stock slicer. There is fuel in the device. Well, I guess there's the damn thing to kick over. Perhaps you and Larry will join us for consumption of mass quantities this weekend. We'll ignite our new flame and char some mammal flesh for you. That sounds like fun. I'll make some coleslaw. You might enjoy it.
Oh no, he ate it.
Yeah.
Is he holding his toupee on? I don't remember that movie as well as David does, but Conehead's movie is pretty good. That skit on Comedy Central or on Saturday Night Live was always funny. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd. It's tough to find a bad Dan Aykroyd movie, right? So what else? Hang on. There's a message. Let's see. There's actually people in here trying to talk to us. Hey, Amanda. Okay. Why is the Holly EFI better than regular EFI? It's not a better or worse thing. So it's two different things. So EFI, like what you're going to have on a Hyundai Sonata, is going to be individual injectors that go into the individual cylinders or into the intake individually, and they're sparked individually, etc. So if you have a 4-cylinder engine, you'll have 4 fuel injectors. What systems like the Sniper do is they work with kind of old school manifolds, like on V8s, and I have the spare Sniper. So yeah, it's kind of a. So what you have is you have this unit, and this very much. If you remove some of the wires, this looks very much like a regular carburetor, but it is actually a fuel injection system. Fuel goes in, and then you have your fuel return, your idle air control, throttle position sensor, and your throttle. So it works. I mean, you guys can see right through there. It works very much like a carburetor, and it mounts to the manifolds just like a carburetor would. So you can use it on older stuff. How did this shit get wrapped up?
Basically, it replaces needle and seat.
Yeah, it's a very simple way to do a throttle body versus running a carburetor. Now, carburetor, there's good parts to carburetor too. You can tune it with a screwdriver. You don't need anything special. This requires a computer to do any kind of tuning, and it plugs in. Where is he? Not that plug. Nope, that's O2 sensor. Where do you got this plug? Is where the handheld plugs in, and you can do all your tuning through that. So the other benefit of a carb is you can dump a lot of fuel. You can dump a lot of fuel with a carb. This will be very regulated. This is a fuel pressure regulator, FPR, right here, and it's a very set amount. You can adjust fuel pressure on the carbureted car, but you can dump a lot of fuel. So this looks like a regular Holly carb. And the other good part is it doesn't require a choke like electric choke or manual manual
Basically, it's
choke.
a throttle body set up from 20 years ago.
Yeah, it is. It's a throttle body that works with
Yeah.
older manifolds, like what you have on V8s, and so you get a little bit better performance just from efficiency, and you have more tuning capabilities, whereas you don't have a lot of tuning capabilities with the carb. So there's benefits, pluses and minuses to both systems. It really kind of depends on what you're doing. So this system came out of a 10-second Nova, and the guy had it on a big block, 454, and he had a TH400 transmission in his Nova, and the thing screamed. But he was going LS and he was going big turbo, so this came with the engine and transmission. So it works pretty good. The one we have on here is the replacement. This one works fine, and it'll get sold. But it's one of those. It's kind of two different ways to do the same thing. But when you're talking about fuel injection, this is more of a throttle body, so it's kind of one big fuel injector that brings in a lot of air and a lot of fuel all at once. Whereas with individual injectors, you're doing it per cylinder. So if you have a 4-cylinder car, you'll have 4 injectors. If you have a 6-cylinder car, you have 6 injectors. That is kind of one big fuel injector and one big air inlet. That's really kind of the only difference. Uh, Pricing wise, they're going to be about the same if you do manifold and uh, sniper system, and they have different sniper systems too. They have Super Sniper, they have the Terminator, they have a couple of different systems. So if you are going drag racing, you do need to dump a bunch of fuel at a very short period of time. You can get different Holly systems, and there's other companies that make stuff like this too. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. Who was the other? There's another company that was a competition for Holly, and I can't remember the name of them. You guys can let me know, but
The guy from Vice Grip Garage put one of those on a Chrysler Slant 6.
yeah, if you have a manifold plate that fits that, you can put it on whatever, which is really nice because a lot of older stuff is ready for a 4-barrel carb. I'm still burping burrito. Ugh, it was a good burrito, but wow. So that's the nice part. You can use it on older stuff, whereas it's harder to get fuel injection systems. You can like a Hillborn or something like that for old school stuff like this, but Hillborns they're kind of tough to tune. You get ITBs, which are individual throttle bodies, and those are also a little bit tougher to tune. So, but you can get a lot of power out of them. Like the Atom is ITBs. There's 8 individual tiny throttle bodies.
Believe it or not, Borla makes fuel injected throttle bodies
Oh, okay. So
for
Borla's in
for
it.
the GM V8. Yeah.
I'm trying to
Plug and play.
remember who makes the. There's a competition for Holly, and I can't remember who it is. They make a very similar system, and it's priced competitively, and it's been very successful too. So this one is quick and easy. Like I said, it came on the 454 that I bought, and that was a screaming deal. It was a great weekend. That was a lot of fun. But 454 didn't work on this, so we had to do the 383. But I kept the transmission and I kept the sniper. So the nice thing is, again, with fuel injection, it starts every time. You don't have to choke, manual or electric. It doesn't really care about altitude. Yeah, normally it starts every time. If all the rest of your shit's together, it starts. It starts every time. Yeah, not in this car.
I don't have the mileage patch for this.
No, it was funny. I saw at Full Throttle Thursday yesterday. I saw Ronnie Nutter, Jay Nutter. He does all the lowriders. He won a bunch of stuff at SEMA. He's got really killer cars. And I talked to him, and he was like, "Yeah, you're the guy who has the hot tub limo, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You finished that car yet?" I'm like, "No, we're getting closer all the time." And he goes, "Oh man, I remember seeing that thing sitting out in front of Lev's for years." And I'm like, how come you didn't buy it? I mean, you love this stuff. And he's like, because I'm smart. I was like, yeah, yeah, good point. So Ronnie's really cool. He has some really beautiful rides. He brought a early Bel Air bubble top. I mean, it's a beautiful car. And you could eat off the wheel barrels. I mean, they were that clean. And yeah, it's a it's a beautiful car. He's got a lot of really, really nice rides. He builds really killer stuff. So Amanda, hopefully that helps you with the difference between like individual fuel injection and uh, a throttle body system like the Sniper is. And it's kind of there's a bunch of different ways to walk through the snow. You can do snowshoes. You can, you know, roll along the ground. You can get some skis and telemark across. You can, there's a bunch of different ways to get across the snow. It's the same kind of thing with getting fuel and air into the engine. There's a few different ways to do it. And it's not necessarily one is better than the other. It depends on your application and what you want to do. This, we just want it to start every time. And it'd be nice to get, 400 horsepower out of it. That'd be great. But it's more about reliability and it being a smooth ride. With all the water in the back, I don't need herky jerky, launching off the line. So that's why. Hopefully that explains it a little bit better. And that's a super basic explanation. That's not anything kind of in detail. Um, you can talk to someone has a master's in CFD, or guys that build drag engines, and guys that build hardcore endurance engines like trophy trucks and stuff like that. They can get into a lot more detail into the benefits of carb versus EFI and carb versus throttle body, etc.
We'll have spare plugs to put a plug in each resonator. Dump some fuel and light the exhaust.
I don't want to light the exhaust because we have enough problems with that. Exhaust is such a mess. David's trying to give me a stroke by bringing up the exhaust. It's not going to happen. Sorry, man. So yeah, that's kind of the basics. Hopefully that helps you. New plugs are what, $40? So it should be. And also, I kind of expected it with a brand new engine to go through at least 2 sets of plugs. And I have to get new oil for it too, because even though we're not close to an oil change for this, I want to be ready and have all the oil ready to go. Plus, there's a lot of stuff on sale.
Do we even have 1,000 miles on it?
I don't think we have 100 miles on this motor. Also, it's not a motor, it's an engine. The other fun part is getting that second alternator in, because the second alternator goes right here and blocks the power steering. You can't adjust the power steering at all.
Hopefully the belt won't
It doesn't matter because you can't adjust power steering. This has to go all the way over there. Otherwise, the alternator hits right here. It's a huge, huge mess.
fill and forget. If it doesn't leak, good forever.
Yeah, I do need a new return hose. So I'll probably pick that up tomorrow too. This guy does leak a little bit. The return hose does. So he's 100 years old. Everything else stays clean though, which is very, very nice.
Okay.
That is a fuse cap holder for this guy. He just came off. There he goes. He was in here when we were checking fuses for everything else. This guy is our sort of seal. So that's kind of where we're at with the car. It is close, and it's close to being very reliable. Once we have the one alternator in there, it'll be fine. The second alternator is kind of a bonus. The problem is nobody makes a really good mount for that second alternator. That is the biggest issue with trying to do this. Unless you do a serpentine belt setup or something completely custom, or a lot of guys don't run power steering, so they don't have the power steering pump in the way. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to move this without power steering. And we have Casey working on a new grill for this. He sent me the the 3D print layout, and it looks really cool. It's going to be in 4 sections. It'll have the Cadillac logo in it. It'll look really cool. So we'll have 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and it'll look very OEM compared to if we took those 2 sections and hacked them up and tried to get them to fit in there. This is going to look a lot better, and it'll have we're going to do hexagonal backing on it as kind of the screen to keep out bugs and all that stuff, and that'll be a lot stronger. That was the one change we made in it today, because we just had it as straight across, so we're going to add the hexagonal as kind of a filter and strengthening plate for the back.
Maybe get the chandeliers that would sweep them away.
That's what I should have got as a plate. The Duke. You're the Duke. You're the Duke of New York. If you guys get that reference, let me know. That's a pretty
Everyone
obscure
watching
one.
wasn't born with that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's a good flick. It's a good flick. The downside is they made a sequel. The sequel was not as good. What else did we do? We got the new alternator in. The new alternator is wired up with the diode in the wiring, which was part of the problem why we were backfeeding, and the alternator was getting crazy hot. Now he's just normal temperature, which is good. He just gets hot from heat in the engine bay. He doesn't get hot from backfeeding, which is always bad. And we have 14 volts up at the battery when it's running. So that's a good thing. And I know a couple of you guys are wondering about the shirt. This was one of my favorite shirts for like 10 years. I got this a long time ago. I was at the Midwest Rendezvous 2011. So this is 13 years old, this shirt. And I've had it for ages and ages. And it's eventually kind of gotten holes in it where it's caught on corners and stuff. So this has officially become a shop shirt. This is now a work shirt. I couldn't help it, but it's very comfortable. It's nice and light. I love the shirt. It's not black, which is something new, but sorry to my Viper brethren. And this is VCA. So this is old. This is before VOA. So that's all right. It's the new shop shirt. Is that wind? Is it going to rain?
There's sun, like, rain.
We had some gnarly storms come through the south. Like when we were driving back from the Motorplex this afternoon, we're like, it is going to be hammering when we get up there. It had actually rained a little bit, but they got hit really hard south of town. So there's a bunch of pop-up storms going all over the place. So that's about it. I think I need to get those new plugs. I'll get them in. We'll do Jack's Wax tomorrow. So I'll go live from Jack's Wax. I'll try and do YouTube as well as Instagram and Facebook. I'll do something nice and simple for you guys. There'll be incredible amounts of cars there. So it'll be maybe later in the evening, like 5 or 6 when, more of the cars show up, and we'll be doing, we've got drag racing. There's a killer car show. I've got VIP tickets. So there's a booth with catered food and everything. And what else? There's a bunch of other stuff. A t-shirt and a bunch of products and stuff. Also, if you get a chance, go down there because Jack's Wax sells stuff like super cheap at the event. So you can get all your car care cleaning stuff, get a couple extra bottles of whatever, the detailer or the wax or the tire. Their tire or their wheel cleaner stuff is really good, right? We use that on the Viper wheels, and that really cleaned them up.
My hands are still stained.
David's gonna cry that his hands are still stained. So yeah, I think that's about it for tonight. It's 11:30. It's late. We have a very long day tomorrow. I still have a ton of stuff to do tonight, and I think that's about it. I'm dying to see the video that Cole shot today with the Atom, and the funny clips that they shot with the Atom and me, and that series will be very funny. She's going to have a good time with that series. So far, it's been a huge hit. It blew up in the last 2 days all over Instagram and Snap and TikTok. So it'll be funny to see what happens with the rest of them. Um, so if I can, I'll put them all together in a package, and you guys can watch them as like one long video. It'd be pretty funny. But I think that's it for tonight. I gotta go get Rockstar because I'm officially out. I gave David my last one, and
Are you going to do a withdrawal already?
I'm getting close, man. I'm thinking about I might do something really drastic. Really drastic. I didn't want to, but mm, that's the other thing. We're getting very close to finishing off the pool. Whoa, of what the weight of the car is. We have a pool here with a lot of people who come by the shop. Some people don't come by the shop anymore. Some people are not allowed to come by the shop anymore. But we have a pool here of all the guesses, what the car weighs, full tank of gas, 2 people in it, and all the water. So we are getting, excuse me, green chili burps. We're getting very close to crowning a winner. If you guys want to get in on the pool, let me know in the comments. You got to guess a weight. Our highest guess is 11,200 pounds. Our lowest guess, who is the lowest guess up there? Is it Katie at 63? 63.30? I think Katie's guess at 63.30 is probably the lowest. Anyone else lower? Nope, that's it. So between 6,300 and 11,200. So if you guys want to, you can. You're welcome to guess and put it in there. If you double up with someone, I'll let you know. But winner gets a large shake from Sheets of their choice. Pretty good deal. My guess is 69.69. That's my guess.
That is, you got to buy
No, that won't be happening. You don't put a hot tub in the back of a limo to get naked in it. I don't know if you understand that.
bubbles in there.
No, it's not why we're doing it. So anyway, thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. Sorry it was a quick one. We'll do more the rest of this weekend. Like I said, tomorrow's Jack's Wax. Sunday is Father's Day, and it's my first Father's Day without my dad, so it'll probably be a pretty late day. Probably not going to do much. I might call my brother. That's about it. Call my stepmom. Keep it very simple. But we got a ton of car stuff all day tomorrow, starting probably about 2:00. And yeah, there'll be other pop-up meets. The weather's supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be in the 80s and 90s all week, so we'll have a ton of other car events coming up. And I sponsored the Power Tour cars that I was seeing all around town. They were at National Trails, and then they went up to, I think they went up to Mid Ohio today. So I apologize. That is Hot Rod. That is not NHRA. That is the Hot Rod Power Tour, and I apologize for mis-sponsoring that earlier on Facebook and Instagram. That was my fault. So correction there. And yeah, and then there's car meets all over. There's pop-up stuff. I'm sure there'll be stuff up at Elm Creek, Polaris, everywhere else. So I'll keep you guys in the loop, and I'll go to as many of these as possible. So thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss on the nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's important for them, but it's really, really important for you. So thanks, everyone. We will catch you. We'll catch you tomorrow. All right. Have a safe night. Thanks.